All right. So tonight I thought I would start with I found, well, I didn't find it. Someone made a new mod of GameHub 4.1.0 in the style of, I think they said PlayStation, but it says Xbox at the top, so I don't know. But it has a lot of the stuff, a lot of the junk is not here anymore. They took out a lot of that stuff, which is good. So it makes it a little more efficient, I hope. I haven't tried to launch any games or do anything yet with it. So I just added a few games that I want to test. Some older, some newer. Um, yeah, just things like that. I just kind of played around a little bit with it, but a lot of the stuff seems the same, but they're saying the setup might be a little bit different. So I'm going to look at Fear from 2005, I think. Go into the settings here. Let's try. Yeah, so they took out some, or they reorganized some of these things. So I like that. I'm going to download the new Proton. So Proton 10. Download that. I don't suspect it'll work, but always good to give it a try. All right, so let's pick Proton 10. Let's just go with, there's only one setting, performance, so let's stick with that for now. Um, let's see here. Yeah, so whenever they mod this stuff, it always messes with the, oh yeah, they added extra um, drivers too. Nice. So they added some of the Mr. Purple drivers. I'm gonna try this one. Let's try this basic 25.2 dev one. Like I said, I've never tried this before, so I'm just gonna mess around with it and see if we can get it to work. I'll leave that DXVK version because this is an old game. Effects version. There should be a newer one, right? Yeah, here at the top. So we'll download that one. Limit, controller, like the Xbox layout. No components yet. Let's see if it automatically installs or if we have to install them. All right, let's just click play, see what happens. So there you go. Okay, so there, we got a PlayStation logo there popped up. That didn't work. Okay, so might have to, let's try the compatibility layer first. If that doesn't work, then we will go back and install some components that we might need. There's the PlayStation logo again. Oh, okay, we got a screen this time. Let's move our tester. Not that I even trust this thing anymore. Let's move it over here for now. Let's see if this game even recognizes my controller. I put a mod in it, so it should recognize the controller, but we'll see. Does not appear to recognize my controller. I'm not sure. Do I have my... Yeah, set to Xbox. Let's go to D input, since this is an older game. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, maybe. Maybe not. Okay, it recognizes the D-pad, but I can't click any other buttons. All right. Wonder if it will take the controller here. No. All right, I wonder if we turn on D input outside the game. So let's try that. All right, well, that was a good start. So let's turn on D input, turn off X input. Try it again. So like I said, this is a very old game, so maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't seem to want to load. I find this happens a lot with the D input when I turn it on. Games just don't load at all. Okay. So let's switch it back. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes, has to do with the compatibility layer too. So if we go to the box 64, sometimes this one will give us controller compared to the other one. Let's just test it. All right, leave everything else the same because it seemed to work. Let's try it. And no, nothing on that one. Okay. Oh, I know why. Okay. We need to change a few things. Let's pick box 36, fix. And I think that's all we need to change. Doesn't change it automatically when you switch over to box 64. There we go. Well, let me turn the controller off here for right now. We'll see. Fail to initialize sound driver. Okay, whatever. One problem at a time. So we don't have any sound. And we also don't have any controller. So, not great. All right, one last messing around with this, then we'll just move on. So, let's try wine. Where is it? 9.5 is usually the default for GameHub. So we'll give that a try. And we'll leave everything else the same. Yeah, we'll leave everything else the same. Okay, we'll just do this last test. Then we'll move on to a different game to see if this works. See if we get some audio at least this time. Or anything. Wow, I don't think we're getting anything on this one. All right. So, I lied. All right, I want to try one more thing. I like to problem solve. So we were able to get in before. Let's just change the box 64. Maybe this 3-6 fix doesn't work. Let's try this one. All right. This will be the last one. Otherwise, we'll just move on. Fear is an old game, so not a lot of people want to play it anymore, but I like it. Remember owning it on PlayStation 3. It's good. Very good. Yeah, now it can go again. All right. So we were able to get it in Proton. I know, I lied again. I keep saying I'm going to stop, but I like to try and fix this stuff. So let's pick an older fix. So that's the newest one. I said it lists every single thing that's in this. And it's no longer separated. Let's try an older one. Let's try April's. Sometimes older versions work better. It's just how it is. All right, at least it loaded this time. And we have sound, which is good, but the whole test is on the controller. Do we actually have a controller? I'm going to say no, but you never know. It's pretty intense. No, still no controller. But it does load. You can use the mouse. Like I said, I tried to put a mod in that was supposed to recognize X input, but really depends. All right, let's move on. So fear doesn't work. Loads, play with the keyboard and mouse if you want to. Let's see what else here. Let's stick with the old school theme. Let's go to Dead Space. This is one of my favorite games. Not many people like it, apparently. I made a video on it, but no one really watched it, which is fine. Um, all right, we're gonna just keep going here. Do the same thing we did last time. We'll change the driver here. What's the newest driver they have? Hard to tell. Like I said, all these. Okay, here, 25, R8, R7, R6. All right, let's just stick with this development one. I don't know if it's any good or not. Stick with the old DXVK, and let's pick the newest effects just to give it a try. Make sure our controller is Xbox and enabled. All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, there's the PlayStation sign again. Like I said, someone spent some time modifying the loader to get rid of GameHub. Put in the PlayStation sign or symbol. And this one's not looking good. Oh, did it crash or is it actually going to load? I think it crashed. All right. Let's try again. Let's look at Proton. 9. Try that one instead. Yeah, so been spending more time using, oh, here we go, we're in, using my Mac to do some emulation and working on some other stuff. But I thought I'd get back to maybe doing a few of these a week where we just kind of test out games or test out new builds if we get them. Like I said, today we got, or I found a new GameHub mod that I can install next to the regular GameHub. But it gave me this, but then crashed. All right. Let's go back. Let's try a different player here. Let's try the Box 64 version. We got to make sure we change our translator. Let's just go with 3.6 fix. Try again. See what happens. Right? That's what we got to do. You just got to try and repeat. Test, fail, repeat. Test, fail, repeat until you get something that works out well. All right, here we go. Recognizes a controller. Giving us 60 frames, pushing my CPU, but RAM, well, GPU too, for an older game. Let's go options. Let's go visuals. Is that what it's called? Okay, here we go. All right, go full screen on. Visuals. All right, so full screen on, VSync off, graphics. Let's go with custom. All right, let's just leave everything on except for shadows. Shadows are just performance sucks. Let's leave everything else on. I usually don't use blur, or motion blur, but let's just give it a try. All right. Let's just, we have a game? No. Still can't get AJ's prefix to work. Anyway, let's just give this a quick try. See what it looks like. Although it appears we don't have any sound. Yeah, let me see here. I don't think I'll be able to change the sound at all. Yeah, okay, so we have no sound. All right, so we're testing Dead Space in the new GameHub mod, but running into some issues. So game loads, but there's no sound. So that must be part of the compatibility layer. So let's try, that was Proton Box 64. Let's just try Wine 9.5, and then we'll leave it at that. Because I know this game does work in GameHub, the normal one. But like I said, there's the PlayStation sign again. Someone really likes PlayStation. Anyway, seems to load up, no problem. Here we go. All right. So now we got some sound. So 9.4, or sorry, 9.5 wine works for this one. So for Fear, it's very much pushing my CPU and GPU though. But we're getting 60 frames right now. Let's check it out. All right, so like I said, I want to use max graphics just to give it a test, except for shadows. Shadows are annoying. So we'll take those off, maybe. All right, let's try a new game. Just check it out at the beginning. Let's see if the sound stays. I don't know. I can't hear anything right now. Not looking good. We just lose it again? Yeah, so it crashed. All right. All right, so some of the older games do not work. So I know they work in the regular GameHub, but I tried Fear, which loads but no controller, and Dead Space does not load at all. Or does load, but again, crashes. All right, let's try Mandragora. So this is a newer game, kind of a Souls-like game. Side scroller though, let's put 10 performance, but I don't know if this is going to work. Let's use whatever that DXVK level is here. We're going to use 2 point, let's say 2.4. Why not? I hear people saying that's good. We're going to put this to, let's say 213. But normally, I think I like to run this game in DirectX 11. So we're going to go here, go DX11 to try and get some better performance out of it. All right, so let's try this one. Let's see if this works. So this is Mandragora. Maybe. There we go. All right, let's see if it'll load up. After we do a few tests here, maybe we'll go to MiceWine, because MiceWine had a nice little update the other day. See if anything's changed. If you have any questions or any suggestions for anything you want me to try and test, you can always message me as well in the chat. Okay, so crash. All right, so let's try something else. Let's change our compatibility. Let's go down to Proton 9. Maybe turn up the DXVK. Let's use a newer one. Let's use 2.5. See if that makes any difference. All right, let's give it a try. All right, this is usually what I do. Kind of just flip through the different compatibility layers and then different boxes or performance settings and just kind of mess around with things until I can get it to work. Get a good feeling after you try a few different games for what will work and what won't work. Right now we're just playing with the new GameHub mod based off of 4.1.0 that someone made. I'm not sure who made it actually. I didn't find out the name. I just saw it in the Discord. Okay, we got an opening screen. I know this one does take a while to load. Yep, here we go. All right. There we go. All right, perfect. So far, so good. Don't think any of my save games are in here. Nope. All right, so let's just turn up the graphics again. Is this as high as it goes? Yep. Yep. Don't like any motion blur and stuff like that, but whatever. Let's try max and then see what happens. I'd like a little bit. All right. Whatever. All right, let's try a new game. I like the fire one, and yeah, I don't care. All right, get the keyboard out. Say my name, Ashy, and oh, didn't take it. Hit the wrong button by mistake. There we go. All right. And let's embark. Give it a test. See. So this is Mandragora on a new GameHub mod. Modded on GameHub 4.1.0.
but not displayed the ability to wield the arcane arts. Word of my powers spread, and I was taken from my mother to be trained as an inquisitor. What happened to her, I still don't know. Sometimes I have a dream of being born. The rain splashing, my mother's labored breathing, and the sound of a mandrake screaming.
All right. Let's skip this. Can I skip this? Yes. All right. So this is being played on my Odin 2 Mini, and like I said, it's through the GameHub mod that I found today that took out a lot of the telemetry that sent stuff back to GameSir, I guess, owns or creates GameMod, or sorry, GameHub. So let's see what we got here. It looks pretty good. All right, let's get out of this. Get out of this. Let's just see some gameplay. See how it performs. You guys can watch how bad I am at playing these games. I like testing, but I'm not much of a gamer. But I try my best. All right, skip that. Yes. I failed him. Yep, 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 yep. All right, let's go and get through this basic tutorial. There we go.
This voice, am I hallucinating?
Oh, a little bit of stuttering. 8 FPS, 22. Yeah. It's not ideal. Yeah, not looking at amazing performance, but this is high graphics, high everything. So maybe I'll turn it down here in a second to see if we can get some better performance out of this. Oh. Sprint down here and beat up this guy.
You showed mercy when you killed that witch. I should have been in your place.
All right, let's get out of this. Just testing here. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, we're getting through the tutorial.
His Holiness' faith in you is justified.
All right, let's turn down. Oh, wrong place. Let's turn down a couple of the settings and see if we can get some better performance. So shadow quality, let's just turn that off. Texture's fine. Post-processing, let's go medium. Depth of field is fine. Anti-aliasing's fine. Effects quality's fine. Volumetric fog can always kill things, and motion blur can kill things. So let's see if that helps at all. A little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Alright. Alright, let's get down here. Go back out and feels pretty good though. Like I said, I'm not sure how much I trust the FPS on GameHub. It's not consistent by any means. Like I feel like this is playing a lot faster than 26, but maybe not. We'll see when we start fighting whether or not it feels okay. All right, so here we go. Yep. Open up this thing.
It's reacting to me.
All right, let's go down here and fight some wolves or some rats or whatever. Here we go. Okay, feels pretty good.
Feel its power strengthen me.
It still looks pretty good, even though we turned down a few of the settings. Oh, missed this one. Still feels pretty reactive. Oh, what was that? That's something new. Oh. I had no idea that was there. Nice. Found something new. A little bit of a stutter there. Yeah, so that wasn't great.
Get away from her! Help!
A hidden cave.
Alright, well, it's not amazing, but it's playable-ish. There's probably some better settings you could get going here, but I just wanted to see if it actually worked. Which it does.
I think I'll take this.
But yeah, the way it's pushing the GPU and the CPU is probably not the most effective. But running it in DirectX 11 definitely makes it better. I remember the DirectX 12 version being really bad, at least on Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, like I have. Alright. Alright, I don't think we need any more from this.
My Finn.
Let's
Without her,
skip all this. Yep,
down the road.
yep, don't care. Yep,
Hey,
alright, yep. There's it. Not too bad. 20 FPS, but maybe it's a little bit higher. I don't know. Alright, let's get out of this. Alright, so that was Mandragora, and that worked. So that's good. I have GTA 4 here. Well, here's one, but I haven't tried before. I just got this. And I'm not sure, so let's just go through what we do here. So let's try all the newest stuff first. Yeah, let's stick to whatever this development one is. I'm not sure. Let's pick the newest DXVK. What do we have? I saw 2.6, 2.6.1 async. Let's try that one. If not, I might do the ARM64 EC above it in a second. I don't know if this is DirectX 11 or DirectX 12, so we'll stick with that. I'll pick the newest effects core that they have. Oh, also need to check the controller, because I do like an Xbox layout, because the Odin is laid out that way. All right, let's give this a try. Let's see if it loads or does anything. I hear the fan kicking up, so hope that's a good sign. Okay, it's using DXVK. Let's see here. I don't even know if this has controller support. I just threw it on here. Oh, no, it does. Perfect. Oh, and there's the crash. Okay, so let's change a few settings, but if that keeps happening, then we need to check some other stuff. But let's just drop this down a bit and try it again, see if it crashes again or not. Oh, now the controller doesn't work at all. Alright, so we've lost all controller, but it does load. So that means we got an issue with the compatibility layer. Alright. So let's try the box 64 Proton. Okay, that's the same, but we gotta change the Fex core, 36 Fix. So this is Tunguska, the Revisitation, I think, is what it's called. I just saw a video for it the other day, so I picked it up. It looked pretty cool, but I haven't actually tried it yet. Oh, well, my cables just fell. Let's see if we can get the controller to work here. Nope, still no controller. And a crash. Okay. Let's try Wine 9.5. And if that doesn't work, then we need to dig a little bit deeper to see why this is crashing. Could be the async as well. Let's take this down to, let's just say 2.4 for now. Oh, that's async as well, sorry. Where did I see 2.6? Here, we'll try 2.6. No async. Sometimes that could cause issues. Okay, loading. Still don't have any controller. And the crash again. Okay, so when this keeps happening, need to do a little bit of a deep dive into the container. So let's take a look here. So when things like this keep happening, I have a couple things I do. So let's take a look at the game itself. So this is where I have all my games. This is called okay. So let's take a look here. So, okay, so right at the top there, see mono bleeding edge. All right, so that tells me that we need to set up a specific performance for this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this one, going to edit the name, not that it really matters. Oops, get it here. Let's call it mono bleeding. Confirm. Okay, now we need to edit this configuration. So for anything that has a mono bleeding in its main game folder, we need to do something here. Okay, so we need to use this performance preset. So this is low crashing the main menu, but it may crash inside too. So what we need is we need a 1 on the safe flag. We need a 1 on the strong mem. Fast name, that's all fine. The big thing is we need to turn off call ret, and we actually don't want any big blocks for this one. Everything else, we may play with weak barrier later, but right now this is fine. All right, so we're doing that. Save it. All right, we're applying that one. Okay, so now we're going to give that a try and see if it still crashes or not. So for these Unity games, if they have that mono bleeding edge inside the main folder, this is usually the performance preset I will use. It's usually the performance preset, but with 1 safe flag, 0 big block, and 1 strong mem. And you can play a little bit with the weak barrier, whether or not you want to use 1 or 2. Okay, still no controller. Let's see here. It's not crashing, so let's just see here. I don't think that's the resolution I want. Let's turn up the graphics quality. VSync off, window mode off. Hybrid control screen? Controller. Well, maybe that'll fix it. Did that fix anything? No. Okay. But now we're able to get in and it doesn't crash right away. So now it's just solving the next issue. So let's go back out. Let's try wine 10 this time. Sometimes that helps. Sometimes. All right, let's try wine 10, see if we can get the controller to work. Seems to be the biggest issue with GameHub is that the controllers don't always work all the time. And I don't know if that's, I saw a message today saying someone said that they do it on purpose because they make controllers and they don't want other people's controllers to work. But that doesn't seem right because it does work in some games, no problem. But just some games do not. And it's same in MiceWine and Winlator for the most part. Sometimes they just don't work. No, still no controller. I still have it on Xbox. Yeah, it just doesn't work. Okay, so we're going to try the Proton one last time. The Proton Box 64. Just to see. Because now that we fixed the crashing issue, maybe we can get controller to work here. And then maybe we'll kick over to MiceWine and just take a look at a couple things there. Maybe we can try these games, a couple of these games there, to see if they work better. Winlator's been giving me a lot of black screens with sound lately, so not actually working. Oh, we seem to have lost sound and still do not have controller. All right, so this one's going to take more testing to figure out in GameHub here. So like I said, this is a different version, a modded version of GameHub. So like I said, they've taken away a bunch of stuff. Still has the basics of everything, but they've taken away all the garbage for advertisements and things that were phoning back home to the company. All right, let's get out of here. So like I said, it says Portal is what it's called, just a mod. Let's go into MiceWine here. So these are some of the games I've got in here right now. I'm trying to play Peak. Oh, okay, I got Tunguska right here. So let's go in. Well, it's fresh in my mind. Let's take a look here. So, yeah, let's just use the wrapper that's built in. I'm gonna use a new DXVK. Let's use 6.1 this time. I don't think we need to change this, but I will. Okay, so we need to, I already have it in here, so I already have the same performance preset before and the box 64, so let's see what happens. See if we have controller or not. So one, if this does load, I'll show a new feature that Pablo, the developer of MiceWine, put in to the emulator, which is pretty cool, but I'm not sure how practical it is, but could be fun, could be interesting if he continues up that train of thought. All right, not looking good right now. So whenever this happens in MiceWine, I always go into the log and I look at what's going on. So right now it says warning, warning, begin mono manager. Okay, so we're just going to wait a second here because it could be doing something. Sometimes it could take a little bit longer to load in MiceWine, unless I see something that either crashes the load or if I get some sort of wine debug warning where it says check the, what does it say? Wine debug, check the documentation or whatever like that. Then I know that it's crashed. But right now, doesn't seem like it's working. Maybe we switch the turnip driver, but we'll just give it a second here. All right, so yeah, it's not working. Well, there is a little bug with Mango HUD too. Maybe that's the issue. Excuse me. So I'm gonna turn off Mango HUD and we'll try it again. Oh, I got something caught in my throat there. Sorry. No, we're getting the same error. All right, so let's change the turnip driver. It's usually the first thing I try in MiceWine. So let's pick the newest one, 11 here, and just see what happens. So we can see it's starting to load, but we keep getting to the same problem here. Okay, so now we're gonna start changing the performance presets here, the profile. So sometimes bleeding mono doesn't work. Let's just go with the default. So this is just the one that comes with MiceWine. Sometimes it works. It's surprising, but sometimes the default actually loads the game better than any of the custom ones. Nope, so we have the same error here. So I'm gonna try a couple other ones. We can even switch the box if we need to, the box 64, but I usually just leave it that way. Let's try compatibility mode. So I just copied this from Winlator, their compatibility mode, just put it into MiceWine. Oh, so there we go. We got something else. Let's see if this actually works. Oh, I just saw something. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see. Oh, that doesn't recognize the controller. Let's see if the digital or the virtual controller. No, doesn't work either. Okay. So let's take a look here. Failure, reason Galaxy service not available. Okay, so we're one step closer. So let's go in here. Sometimes if we have controller issues, we have to turn on the Wine virtual desktop. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes that will solve the issue. So let's try that again. And now let's see if we get some controller to work here. Now we have a different issue. All right. Just give it a second here, see if it loads up any further. I don't think it will, but you never know. All right. Usually it should be a lot faster than that. Okay, so desktop didn't work, but let's enable wine services. Let's just give it a try. Like I said, sometimes have to experiment with some things to see if it'll work or not. And that one didn't work, so it just crashed right away. What do we get? Some sort of app policy get process termination. Okay, check your build. Hmm. The graphics driver is missing. Hmm. Okay, let's go back to the graphics driver then. Let's try. Let's go back to the wrapper 25. See if that makes a difference at all. Okay. looking at mono, but does not appear to be working. So let's change our, oops. Let's change our performance back to the bleeding mono and leave everything else the same. Let's see if, oh, I think I didn't save that. Yeah, let's change this to bleeding mono and see if that makes a difference. So that was a different error message we saw, but I don't know if it'll make a difference or not. Okay, this is what we saw last time it loaded. So let's see. Excuse me. Maybe it's what we saw. Did we see this when it loaded? Maybe not. All right, so that's not working. So the last thing I'll do is I'm going to try the performance, which I copied from Winaltor as well, and just see if that makes any difference. The new built-in wrapper. See if we get anything here. It's not looking good. No, we're back to the same thing. Begin mono manager reload assembly. So the only one that works is compatibility. Maybe we'll change the box. Probably won't make a difference, but doesn't hurt to try. So let's just take it down to 3, 4, and give it another try. Oh, all right, here we go. We got some movement. Will it load though? That is the question. Got past the error, but now we're stuck here. Get current package ID. Let's just give it a second, see if it loads anymore. But yeah, this is how I usually test things in MiceWine as well. At least the log lets me see what's going on, which is nice. In Winlator, I usually go to the task manager, but GameHub, they don't have any of that, so it's really tough to know when something has crashed or when something is taking a long time. All right, let's just do one last thing here. So, oh yeah, let's turn off wine services. Sorry, that shouldn't have been on. All right, let's try it again without wine services, because that was causing an issue. Oh, and then we get this one again. Oh, but it is loading. Okay, let's see here. This is where we got to last time. Okay, I hear sound, but I don't see anything. So this is what's been happening a lot in Winlator. Is I get black screen with sound in the background, but I don't hear anything. All right, so like I said, one step at a time. So let's go back. 3.6 compatibility. We got the new wrapper. All right, this will be the last one, and then we'll move on to something else. See if we can get this to work. Check the log. Yeah, it's working on something here. Here we go. Screen size, going through all that. All right. So again, we got sound, no picture. Did we get picture in this last time? I can't remember now. Let's just change the DXVK for 1 second. Let's go to 2.4.1. Just to test, just to see. I have Mango Head open? No. Okay, didn't like that. Let me see here. DXVK. Let's just go with 2.4. See if it's any better. Sometimes version numbers can mess things up. All right, will it go past this? That's the question. Okay, it did. Awesome. Now, will we actually see anything on the screen this time? Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's crashing here. Yeah. Oh, great. Okay. Um, all right, let's get out of that one for a second. So we did try Fear on the other one, and it would load, but there was no controller. So let's try here. We got old, default. All right, an old DXVK 1.10.3, because this is an old game. All right, let's just see what happens the first time. We have an unhandled exception apparently, but is that going to stop us? Yes. Yes, it will. All right. And I might not be able to get into a game to show you guys the new feature that Pablo put in. All right, let's go with compatibility just to test and see what happens. Try it again. Load it up. All right, let's check here. Anything loading? No. All right, so we're having some issues here. All right. I know it works in Winlator, but I really want MiceWine to succeed. The developer's nice, and he works really hard and listens to people and their comments and criticisms of it. So really do want it to pick up and really become a good emulator. Because right now it's good. Actually, I want it to be a great emulator. Right now it's good, but I want it to be a great emulator. All right, that's not working either. Let's try. What have we got here? Let's go back to default. Switch to an older box. Let's just see. So just kind of testing some things here for these older games. So like I said, Fear is from 2005, so has some challenges with emulation. Same thing, unhandled exception. All right, so let's see, what can we change here? We can go back to the built-in wrapper. I think there's let's try the async version of GXVK. As for everything else, let's just stick with performance and see what happens here. Oh, same thing. So Fear has some issues on this version, which is unfortunate. Um, what do we want to try here? Let's test Dark Souls. So Dark Souls runs, but it's had controller issues. I don't know if it still has controller issues or not. I just leave everything here. Yeah, all the same. Let's just run it and see what happens. Be nice if it didn't have those controller issues, but I've mentioned it to the developer, but no fixes yet. All right, so like I said, it loads. But all right, so it says press any button. I don't know if you can hear me pressing the buttons, but I'm pressing all the buttons and nothing works. So still at the same place for that one. Um, Actually, let's add. What game were we testing earlier? No, I don't remember. To see if it works here. Oh, Mandragora. Let's not worry about that one. I think I already have Black Flag. Let's try Black Flag. All right, let's just go in here for a second. Yep, got the global old school DXVK. Okay, so let's just try this one. Make sure that it still works. So I just want to show that feature that MiceWine has, brand new, that no other emulator has right now. So it's very interesting. So let's just check to make sure this is working or not. All right, I know this does work, or it did work. Let's pick a newer, everything else is fine. All right, let's try it again. I remember making a video of using MiceWine to run this, so. All right, let's just give it a second here. Maybe it's still working. No. All right, so it's failed. It's just one of those days, apparently. All right, let's take this 3, 4. So this is an older game, so maybe an older box version will work. Although it's not that old of a box version. Nope, what is this? You play R1. Yeah, I don't care about the launcher. It should bypass the launcher. It should. Mm, let's pick another DXVK. See what happens. Okay, got something better here. Oh, we're getting to the same area, but will it go any further? That is the question. Maybe if we pick a better box version. Maybe we pick the newer box version. right? Experimentation. This is all we're doing, trying to get these things to work. But I know this one did work, so I'm a little confused why it's not working. Okay. Let's take it back even further. It's the oldest one I have right now, box 3.3. Let's see if that makes any difference. Doesn't look like it. I know this runs. I have a video on it. Why won't you run right now? All right, let's go back. Async. Let's pick the newest one. Let's pick a better, well, not a better, a different profile. See if we can get it to run. There we go. All right, I knew that it ran. I don't know. Sometimes the default one works, sometimes it doesn't. Nope, but I think it crashed. Yeah, it crashed. Okay, but we have a starting point. This is all we're looking for. So let's take the async off and then give it a try. So you can see this is the process. So if you have one of these devices and you're looking to try and test games, this is how you test them. So today I just used a GameHub mod and in MiceWine, but you would do the same thing in Winaltor as well. Just kind of change different pieces, try not to change too many pieces at a time, and just see what happens. All right, let's see here. Don't have Mango Hut open, do I? No, it's been given issues. All right, so oh, no, okay, so async is the right one. That gets us in, but now we got to figure out the next part. So let's go down here. Let's pick performance. See if that helps at all. It's not looking good. Nope, now we're back to the other one. Okay. So we know that async, the wrapper, but this needs to be on compatibility. Okay. So let's pick a different driver. Just see what happens. I feel like I've said that a lot tonight. Let's see what happens, because that's all you can do. You don't know until you try. Okay, feel my fan kicking up. It's doing something. Another error. Okay, different error this time. So we'll go back. Like I said, piece by piece. So let's pick 10. See if that makes a difference instead of 11. So let me know in the comments below if you guys like this kind of stuff. I mean, it's a little bit boring, but if you're really interested in this, going through the steps and like testing things out, then you can see my process and you can also see what might work at the end as well. And like I said, I'm hoping that people show up. Maybe I'll make it a little bit earlier and we can get suggestions for different games that people are working on or trying to get. This was trying to get work. This was the error last time. Yeah, wine developers guide, set the wine debug. Okay. So We got in one time and it crashed. So it's definitely async for DXVK. Let's go 25.1. Compatibility 3.6. Let's try it again. Look at the log. Nope, we got the same error as before. Okay. So we're definitely not getting anywhere. So let's do wrapper. Let's take the box down. See if that makes a difference. All right, MiceWine just crashed, so let's just quit it. Open it up again. Make sure the settings we just set are there. All right, let's see. Oh, I like that the mouse disappeared. Okay, let's see if it's any better this time. Saving. Same place as last time. What's it doing? Vulkan using GL renderer Zinc Vulkan 1.3. Okay, so will it actually go through? No, frozen. Okay, so it's definitely a driver issue. So let's try 24.3. Let's try an older, more stable driver from last year. See if that makes a difference. Okay, we're in again. Saving. Is it crashing again? No, not yet. Just wait and see. No, definitely crashed. All right, so it's definitely a driver issue here. Let's try a newer DXDK just to check. You never know. Okay, mouse disappeared. Fan's picking up. Tells me it's doing something. Nothing yet. Okay, here we go. And did we crash? I think we crashed. Yep, we crashed. All right. So, let's turn the box up again. Let's just see if the new box version works with the higher DXVK version. Oh, excuse me. My stomach is going crazy here. I'm hungry. All right, we're in again. And we crashed again. Yeah, all right. Let's one more change here. So we're gonna take this off. Let's go back to a higher version. I don't know. Maybe it'll make a difference. Maybe it won't. So I'm gonna try 25. Let's see. All right, we're in here, and we crashed again. So, um, so the DXVK is not working. Let's try 2.6.1. Let's just put it to the newest, or almost newest. I don't have 2.6.2 installed yet. It says an old game, but maybe it'll work. Hear the fan kicking up again. Oh, but I see the mouse. That means nothing. Oh, it disappeared. No, we crashed. Okay, so DXVK version definitely has to be lower than 2.4. So yeah, let's stick with async. Just see. Just see, like always. If not, I think I'm going to give up for tonight because this is frustrating. I know I had this game working. I just need to, maybe I need to check my notes. But we're in. It just seems to crash on the save. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going through. Holy smokes, there you go. On the last try. Finally worked. Alright, so to show you the new setting here, recognizes my keyboard, or my controller, sorry. Yeah, just cancel that. Alright, so we're in here, you can see everything's moving. If we look on the side here, we have something that says pause. Now look at that. Everything's paused. I can go out, come back in, I hit continue, and everything is back, right where it left off. And yes, if you haven't played this game, it's a very awesome game. I haven't finished it yet, but it's really good. I mean, it's an Assassin's Creed game. It's really good. All right. Well, we had one success with Assassin's Creed, being able to load into it. I know that it plays, or at least it used to play. I don't want to get into it tonight, but like I said, that's kind of the process I need to use, or I use, in order to try and get games to load. It's just switching pieces in and out, trying things, seeing if you can get something, and if you get that something, then try to narrow down what got you that, and then change the other pieces around it, right? It's like any other kind of puzzle. You're just trying to figure out how to get things to work. And then as we get better updates, as the developers improve their emulators, things will get a little bit easier. But yeah, that is what I do. So thank you for those who came in and watched. There was a few people today, and I really appreciate that. If you're watching this afterwards, if you like this kind of content, please hit like. You can also hit subscribe too, but the likes really help to spread this video to other people who might be interested. I'm going to try and do more of these during the week, maybe a little bit earlier, so maybe we catch some more people. And I'm going to keep making my single videos on games where I test them in different emulators. So if you have any suggestions for games I can do, I do have a poll on my page, or you can leave a comment in this video or any of my videos. I respond to all the comments and look at them every day. So you can leave a message there if you have a game that you want me to check out. All right, with that, thank you very much.